Oh my God, look at that beautiful sight. Except for Kuji. Man, that's a brand new one. What's up, everybody? It's Drew from the blockchain basement. Always bringing you the Drew. We got a fancy little kind of upgrade to the stream here, late night stream. Now, it's a work in progress. I'm figuring things out, just kind of setting it up because I am an insomniac. Ooh, hot mic. Let's turn it down. Hot mic. Let me know in the chat. How is the mic? Appreciate you letting me know too, because figuring it out here. I don't have all the testing equipment, and BJ, of course, absolute wizard of his craft. Coding and setting up systems like this, man, that's a deep, deep world. So very appreciative of everything BJ does, because my God, he's incredible. So thank you guys for joining me today. Again, I've seen many in the chat. Chili Rainbow, we got Alexandra G. Thank you, great music. That was Adam that made that music. So we're going to be incorporating some music that we actually create there at Hit Network. And I turned it down. You guys turned it up. Sorry about you. But yeah, man, this is really exciting to have the ability to stream late at night, because most of my research and keeping up with the crypto markets, it's a full-time job, especially in research. And as you all know, that's kind of like my bread and butter. So without further ado, you guys can see, we'll go to the full screen here. I'll put my little face in the corner. Ooh, look at this thing. Fancy. I got my little buttons. But this, just chaos, you guys. FTT is up by 52% right now. You have TIA over here, this brand new token, ripping right out of the gates. Crow, ripping maybe for some interesting reasons. So we'll be getting into that. I'll see if I can find the information, but I know that the World Economic Forum had come out in strong support of Crypto.com. It's just kind of a weird feeling, like this organization's like, you own nothing and be happy, but then they're like, getting involved with a crypto exchange, and that's where like the ethos of crypto, it gets very, very muddy, and a lot of people, they'll get kind of tribalistic or very extreme about, these are different, blockchains and softwares that are being developed, and we don't need to be so pitchfork and angry about each other if one's doing better than the other. Like, let's take a look. The markets have been ripping, and there are some major winners here. Go to just the overall cryptocurrency. Let's do this. Bam, I got the buttons, you guys. Remember when I was running the buttons and hosting? When someone would get sick, man, that was the stuff. That's where the fire was forged. But let's check out the 24-hour. Terra Luna, 54%, 76% on the week. FTT token, 249%. Absolutely ludicrous. We were talking about this little warning here, but just really soak it in that Gary Gensler talked about FTT's potentially going to restart, and then that happens. Man, this thing is coming. I mean, we did talk about the likelihood of it coming back, but just seeing it happen, absolutely incredible. Solana. Now, Solana, let's look at this thing, because this is going crazy today. Solana, over the last 7 days, from $40 to $55, so 37% pump over the last 7 days. The month is up 149%. And, when I was when people would ask me about Solana, when all the angriness was about it from obvious, just traditional fraud that Sam did, I didn't count against Solana recapturing $100 just in general, just with the diminished returns market and kind of not that much excitement going on. Now that we have excitement and Solana like is getting near $60, we still have a month and a half till the year's out. We may see just a very, very aggressive move in a short amount of time from Solana that could hit those levels. This is the chaos re-entering the market. The animal spirits have returned to the market. It's an old saying, and that is in essence what I feel like we're seeing right now. Pretty incredible. We have some Degen picks. Let's kind of look at. I'll bring up this. Go to my overall watch list. This is kind of a broader watch list. Then let's see here. So, and this is kind of like I create a watch list overall, and then I pick from it on the projects that I end up feeling the best about over a few months' time. You'll hear about a project, okay? And yes, I'm going to be looking at some new projects on Dex tools, right? But just take your time looking at a project, and unless you feel, that you have some when I go after like really degen picks, it's money that I don't expect to get back. So I just have that mindset when I'm getting really degenerate. But here is the overall pick or kind of my target list. Man, Crow. I do have a little bit of Crow. Not enough to really write home about, but nice to see that it's awake. Definitely exchange token that made it through the this has been the longest bear market in history. So for, obviously cryptocurrency, but in general, we're going to be looking at some statistics. There's a lot of concern just in general. Like we have all the bullishness from BlackRock and stuff, but I've been, when I discuss with, some people, I feel a lot of pullback and a lot of reservation because of the loss of value that the middle class or retail have, right? To get back in and to really help move this bull market to the next level. And I am of the opinion that there's not really going to be that much retail involvement in this. I mean, there's going to be a degree of it, but the average person, they don't really have a bunch of expendable income to just go after it. You really have to focus. You have to realize the opportunity that we're looking at right now with these moves in the market and take advantage of it while we're ahead of it, not just, middle of 2025 when I'm sure everyone, if you were at the last cycle, they all hit you up right at 69, 65K. And I had to tell a lot of people, no, it's not the right time. So we'll take a check back at this, but Injective absolutely been crushing it. Very, very strong project. Optimism is one that is definitely going to be in my L2 bag. I did get refilled at a nice spot in Arbitrum about a week ago. Let's see here. So I got it at about 90. How many? I got it like 98 cents. Where is that? Let's see here. I remember it was 98 cents what I got it for. Around 97. So it was just this little cavern. I saw this little bloop and I was behind the little bloop, but I saw that it was just not giving up as a higher low right here. And I'm very basic when I look at stuff, guys, like, in the overall uptrend, I'm much more effective at looking at markets in the uptrend, and then I relied on people like Frankie Candles or people with all of the really heavy duty technical analysis tools to navigate the bear market. But that's just me knowing that I am much more effective at trading, be it leverage trading, and leverage trading or spot. I do vast majority of my trades, and where my actual money has come is from spot holds, either through a month if it's a short term, or over through multiple cycles. Multiple cycles is really where the juice is. That's where the juice that you can squeeze is, because then you're just operating off a time frame. You're looking past all the price action. You're not getting shaken out by all the ups and downs and the emotions of the market and the new headline that comes out that scares people off for a week and then it comes back. You just have to stick to a time frame, and you have to understand that time frame. For me, if it's a super low cap, like meme coin pick or something, I'm not staying longer than a month. You know what I mean? But If it's things like Arbitrum, I mean, Arbitrum, I definitely think is going to be a strong pick. I saw someone was asking kind of if this level is okay to get at. I still feel comfortable getting Arbitrum between $1 and $1.25 in essence. So when I start breaking into these peaks here, and you got to keep in mind it's a brand new token, right? So we only have a year's worth of data, but it did release pretty steadily, honestly. If you look at the overall release of this token, not a bad release on it. So I'm not hating it at all. I'm liking it. I'm liking the idea of having this a nice bag of layer twos, beside of Polygon and Arbitrum. Let's see what we got in the chat here. But I know that there was some interesting picks. I was asking, drop them in the chat if you have random. I'll try to keep up with everything, and look at as much as I can. Let's see. It was I know people are talking about Fetch AI. Fetch AI, we can think about the narrative of AI in general when we think in terms of Fetch AI. Now, is it a legit project that I know the founders, all that stuff? No, I don't know any of that stuff about Fetch AI, but I do know it is just another AI token that's probably going to rip the next time that CSNBC spends 2 months pounding into the American people's brains that they're going to be replaced by robots. So, that's something to think about. There's a confluence of graphs and narratives that I like to combine to really get a bellwether on what the heck's going on. So let's see here. I have IAG. I think that was from C90FTW. Guys, but look at this. When I'm looking at these tokens, we're sniping for entry points because look at this. Look at that. Let's just zoom in to really get the full effect. That's as far as I can zoom in. Yeah, there's high amount of greed. So, I'm looking through all these projects tonight. We're going to be looking deep, but we're keeping the mindset of reason here, okay? Gravity, what goes up must come down to at least a slight degree. On Bitcoin, let's just look at Bitcoin right now. I was looking at this earlier today. Let's see, I'll move my face out of the way here. So this goes all the way back to the last bull market. And DZ has a just absolutely alpha opinion that really, I hadn't heard from anyone else, highlighting that this was likely the actual top right here because your dollar had a much stronger buying power than this point right here, where it slightly reached above at about 69K. So inflation and money printing was just balls deep at this point. And then the big old crash. Now the crash went, mostly according to the 4-year cycle. Yes, granted, there was the world's largest, fraud that helped create this little nutsack pattern. But in essence, what I'm looking at here is there was a lot of chop right here on our initial run up last bull cycle. I remember the chop. I remember the worry. I remember the relief. And then we come back down here, lots of chop again, and this just acted as a very strong support. Yes, we wicked below it a few times, but in general, I just slapped this bad boy right on here because I was looking at this line where it popped down, pop up, just all of these little head bops. And so I drug this line to keep it over here. And where I'm feeling like, you see a little bit of cool off potential is right about where we're at. I mean, this is looking like it's ready for just a moment of breath. And I don't think that it's not going to continue, going up kind of like in that type of pattern. But, in general, I am not betting against this trend. This looks like a definite confirmed uptrend, regardless of all of the doom and gloom. And here's something else. This is something else that struck me. As a guy that's focused on the potential of the world ending for the last 25 years of my life, since I was, very young, don't you think that, I'd be all in on that idea? Or I have many, many counterpoints on why the world is not going to end. It's going to end as the way we know it. It's going to change. So I just think that there's great change about, and yes, there's going to be sections of society that are going to have a really hard time, particularly the American middle class is very used to this illustrious kind of excess ability because we used to be single home earners. We used to have the dad only having to work in the 70s, and they could, a wife with, many, many kids, and you could exist comfortably. That is not the case anymore. Things have changed. And so if this system sneezes, they are going to get the cold. So that's what I see. I really worry about the middle class guys. It's driving me nuts because I've worked really good jobs. I've worked very hard at, obviously, but they paid very good money. And then, when the flu thing hit, I was deemed unemployable for a good amount of time because of my beliefs, my creed, or I don't know, if creed's the right word, but my values. I wasn't going to let anyone take control of myself. And so I had to work three lower, very not high paying jobs at all to make it through that time frame. And, that's all from coming up. Like, I started by building fences when I was a kid. And, I know hard work. So I just don't want to see people around me suffer from inflation while there's so much good that we can be focusing on right now. Let's look at these kind of more Degen picks, bro. This is Libra Finance. This is something I have absolutely on my DeFi watch list here. This is it's relatively new. It came out this year. So we only have 6 months of data on it, but again, very reasonable release. Nothing too crazy. No huge initial dump. Just good accumulation. It's got good use in the Ethereum DeFi space, so I feel good about that. And then I saw a question in the chat about if I've gotten into Cardano DeFi. No, I have not. I need to finish off my Ethereum layer 2s because I'm very I have a process. You know what I mean? I've kind of just gotten done putting together the... oh, God, I said 3 jobs on the bingo. Dude, the bingo cards are the best thing I've ever seen in my life. That is oh my God, that is wholesome. Speaking of wholesome, Tony has a secret weapon for me. Look at this. Tony from Frankie Candles. The crew hooked me up with a Charizard, and I am so excited to give this to my daughter. She is out of town right now with her mama, but when they come back, I'm going to have just an absolute hoot giving that one to her. She's a huge Pokemon nerd. My father is very into coins. So, I kind of was bred in that collector mind. That's why I'm always open to hear about NFTs. Even though I'm beans, bolts, and Bitcoin, I'm open to the idea of NFTs because I've seen the ability to, flip coins that are just particularly minted in 1 year and had a slight mistake for a lot of money. Drew, go look at the Discord. Oh God. Let's see here. I don't know. This is dangerous. I'm good. They're telling me to go to the Discord. The Discord's lit. I need to get in there more often. It's I have a lot of fun, and I'm very very much like a hummingbird. I keep moving. Man, there is so much activity going on all over the place. It's hard to keep up with you guys. Oh my God, Crimson. Oh my gosh, bro, that's crazy. I just saw it. Wow. Yeah, coins. Yes, coins. Absolutely, man. And I was just talking to my dad about it. I catch up with my dad. He's, he got into XRP very, very at a very good spot, and he's been just holding XRP because he liked it. It was an American company that was, in his mind's eye, a good competitor to the world markets, which is another reasonable take that you don't hear from many people, but that's a very, very, very real thing. We see this American company linking up with the rest of the world while it's being arbitraged in its, home country where it's based. So that was his, interest in it. Yes, rumor is, Aaron, I did catch another another car in my tree line on the front of my property, next to the highway there. People need to learn how to drive a little bit better, man. They just keep flying off the road. It's incredible. I terrified when it does snow out here, man. Or I heard Snowmageddon or Snowpocalypse was a mess. What do we got? We got a little action on Bitcoin. Let's see. Ooh, I can punch right to myself. Maybe we can go down to a lower time frame here. Let's see. Let's go. What do we got here? Because here's another thing that I had a thought on, you guys. We've had a lot of green Sundays in a row, and Yeah, in general, that it's an uptrend. It's a bullish time. The bullishness is coming back, but also we haven't had a red Sunday in a while, and I was talking to some colleagues and some people, and they were asking me because they watched what I did with Chainlink, and they were asking me when is this thing gonna calm down? When is it gonna breathe? And I was like, we haven't had a red Sunday in a while, and those things pretty much. Those come. And I remember during the bear market, like every Sunday, like clockwork, it just pop down, reset back to where the market was, unless Sam came out and rugged everyone, and then we fell by 10% in a day. But this move on Bitcoin, let's see, not too much. I'll do full screen. Yeah, this is just pulsing up here at this $37,000 mark. Kind of interesting to see. Trying to round off this little head motion here. I like that I think CoinMarketCap made some improvements, maybe. I said that, and then this happens. Unbelievable. You see, you give them a chance. You can't have a damn thing. You know what I mean? You just can't. Let's see here. What do we got here? Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's trying to round off a little topperoonie, little middle finger there. Could get some nice good chop this weekend, you guys, from this. Chop to the downside, some relief. People taking profits. And I've had a lot of people tell me to take profits. I have definitely taken profits, recently and through the crab market. So, I'm not really in a position where I need to do that. But, if you are in a position where it will help you, I absolutely recommend to take profits because can't go poor taking profits. And again, this fear and greed thing, I keep going back to this, you guys. So let's look at IAG. I'm also going to look at some DeSci picks that I've been looking at. Let's see here. IAG. Let me know if this is an IAG Aeon. What is this? $21 million market cap. Volume is dwindling. Okay. What is this? Hill? What is this? No, volume's not dwindling. Okay. Well, that's better. Let's see here. What does this chart look like? So launch right in the peak of the bull. Right in the peak of the bull. Whoa. That was funny. I hit the wrong button. I wonder if the music stopped. That's it. On ADA. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, cool. This thing, let's see here. So it launched right in the middle of the bull. Very, very tight pattern. The pump in July. Front running the rest of the markets, running from 1 cent up to 7 cents, almost 8 cents. Not bad. You got a nice little chunky shelf being built here. Okay. I don't hate this at all. This is kind of a deep pick too. $21 million market cap. That's very movable. Ooh. I like this graph. I like this graph a lot. Yeah, the storage economy. I get, I read these things about I almost feel like they copy and paste white papers sometimes. Music stopped. Okay. Good. I read so many white papers, I get so annoyed when there's no difference in the white paper, or at least just the front end explanation of what this thing is. It's good, at least as a storage economy kind of angle, a shared storage economy kind of angle. I like that. That's going to be a big pain point to actually scale out. Be it if institutions or retail or a combination of either of them come back. We see with projects that, they say we can do all these transactions per second, and then people actually pile in, like I saw last time in the bull market, and it freezes or something happens, So you have a level of narrative, but then, proof's in the pudding. You know what I mean? You got to get there to be able to prove it. So I always keep that in mind. Man, this is just chill. If it's Friday night, I could do this all night. I used to work night shift for years. I was Well, actually, recently, shoot, when I was doing the armed guard jobs, we'd have to do overnight post all the time, 14-hour, 12-hour stuff. But in my younger years, I was a night shift. I worked at a chemical manufacturing plant. I was a chemical operator and quality technician. And man, working the nights, it's like you're in a completely different form of existence. Like it's the most interesting thing in the world. And I remember looking for live streams, like just something that's interesting, man. Actual news. There is a lot of actual news. Let's get into that because I had to give the reins to Nick. He was finally unsick, and I wanted him to be on the show today. We went on an absolute rant tear today. But there's a lot of news that I wanted to cover. So let's just check it out here real quick. What we got, Jeremy Hogan is just highlighting, it's going to be interesting nonetheless, because what we have is the sovereign rights of foreign countries being called into question by the U.S. Supreme Court, saying that the Ripple sales must have been in the United States or at least on a U.S. exchange for those Ripple sales to be even, considered a possibility to be considered securities. This is a big deal. This is a huge deal. This is the American, SEC and our kind of power. We are trying to push that on to a global market. And yes, Ripple's based in the United States, but it does depend on, where those sales actually happened. And there's a lot of muddy water. And then you get, sovereign countries being asked what happened, in their jurisdiction for a decentralized or, ledger, Ripple ledger. That is, that's pretty interesting to see. And, I hope that this lawsuit does not go to the Supreme Court, but my God, it would be absolutely cataclysmic if it did. The SEC's definitely racked up some losses over the past few judgments in the SEC XRP case. It is looking grim. They're going to need to find a win somehow. So, kind of interesting to watch. So we also have this come out from Chainlink. Let's see here. I'll exit this. What are you doing? No. Unveiling a crucial detail about staking in V2. A staking upgrade builds on the features that the first version went live with on December 2022. Basically designed to enhance the economics and the security of its service, but this is cool. Specializing as this offering is Chainlink said every single link holder and node operator can access the service. This is cool. The barriers of entry remain lowered for individual users with one link worth $14, or whatever it's at right now, 15.5, set as the minimum amount to participate in that staking feature. Very cool. I like that. That'll just incentivize, more people, like, maybe like the Ethereum needing 32 Ethereum to be a full, node, or, at the time that it was kind of a barring type action that I felt like held a lot of, people out of it. So it was nice to see that. We had this come out. Look at this, you guys. I'll get my face out of this. Look at this. This is Sergey staring deeply. He is staring deeply into the eyes of Larry Fink, who is indeed our pretty much our president. So this was at a gala. It was like I can't remember what exactly it was. They were just meeting. I think it was IMF. It was connected to that Jerome Powell speech. But yeah, man, there's all kinds of weird stuff going. And also, there's a Solana trust. There's a Solana trust that's absolutely ripping right now. Let's see if I can find that too, because Solana is going crazy right now. Oh, look at this. Autism Capital. Are you guys serious right now? And there's just this space is so lit. Just absolutely incredible. It's like I'm not surprised. Americans have a short attention span. It's coming back. Here is the Grayscale Solana Trust Fund. A share of GSOL is worth 0.38 Solana. Each share of GSOL is currently trading at $200. This guy's just highlighting Gumshoe. This means that TradFi institutions are pricing Solana at 10 times of what its current value is. They ain't wrong, man. They ain't wrong. I mean, if we're holding Solana right now, a 10x from where it is right now is not unfeasible. Absolutely not. Like, I've had to wash away a lot of my lower expectations of the markets. The doomers almost got me, but then you start thinking and be like, if the media is telling you that, if everyone tells you that, is that ever the way it really happens? Right? You just think about it that way. It's an easier way to kind of flip the kind of filter there. Now, let's see here. Oh yeah, this is from Peter Schiff. We got him calling out Moody's lowering its rating outlook on the United States Treasuries to negative from stable, citing rising fiscal risks. These risks have been obvious for years, and the Treasury should be rated junk. If you hold them to maturity, you're guaranteed to lose. That's a very true statement. It's either a default or inflation. It's a very precarious situation right now. We had this come out yesterday. I wanted to highlight it today. This happened on the 9th, but this means a lot. So the U.S. government tried to borrow a bunch of money. It didn't go well. They basically weren't able to find any buyers for 30-year Treasury loans or bonds at this Treasury auction. And then right after that, guys, bam, China's largest bank was hit with a cyber attack while they were trying to swap U.S. Treasuries. That's interesting timing, isn't it? Wow, that's very interesting timing. It's things like that happen. Media makes a point to not connect the two dots, and you're sitting here watching it like, wait a minute, something's going on. Something's unwell. So, yeah. And then there was this. Shout out to Jackie. Absolutely awesome. Calling out Zach XBT's response to, it was this 9832 ETH. Hey, Zach XBT, not sure if you've heard of a scam collection called Fuzzy Felons. Fuzzy Felons, don't you say? Oh, that sounds safe, right? But the guy behind it, Color Bleed, has rugged the entire community and stole all of our ETH. He has stopped replying on Discord and is completely MIA. And Zach, my brother in Christ, you bought something called Fuzzy Felons and thought you would not get rugged. Ouch. That is absolutely brutal. Has D, good to see you again. Thanks for joining me. Love to see your face coming in. Oh, no, don't do it. No, I it's up to me. I'm like, I'll let him swim. Because the proof's in the pudding, you guys. You can sit here and be like, oh, I'm so angry. They're just continuing to deliver alpha and not get caught up in drama and scams. Well, sorry, not sorry. Your boos mean nothing to me. I've said what you cheer for. We had this come out from JP Morgan. This is the Onyx blockchain that JP Morgan has rolled out, and it is begun operation. So paying attention to that for sure. On the macro side, the wobbly woodlies, we got Peter St. Onge. Household debt just hit an all-time high, $17.3 trillion, led by credit card, car loan, and mortgage debt. That's up by $200 billion, $2 billion per day. And it brings the average household debt to $132. The average American debt rose 21% in just the last 3 years. Just the last 3 years, the American debt has increased by 21%. That is insane. More than 1/5. That is absolutely crazy. Let's go on. People can't even handle the debt that they've got, with defaults and delinquencies rising. When it breaks, millions of people will lose everything. That is the importance of moving beyond the drama and sharing the truth, because the middle class is at risk of going extinct over the next few years. I'm giving it 10 years. The powers that be, the whiff, the Klaus Schwab, America's favorite supervillain, they're aiming for 2030. Let me see if I can loosen this. I'm gonna undo that. Let me see here. What the hell? I can't even figure out how to undo it. Whatever. Yeah, we're Yeah. Yeah, generally, like, honestly, bro. But on to the next stuff here. We got just some highlights I wanted to bring up on the show this morning. Sailors holdings are at $1.2 billion in profit. Wall Street is drooling over this. And, you guys, exactly a year ago today, we were able to stack Bitcoin for $15,000. We were in the basement talking. This is the time. The chance for generational opportunity is now. In our intro, that was said right at that $16,000, $15,000 level. Looking back at this, man, oh God, doesn't it just make you just think of the good old days? I mean, it was just like the COVID crash. It was so juicy. Entry points out the yin yang. Then we got this. This is actually from Hannah, I believe, downtown Atlanta last night. Getting a little spicy here. I don't think this sound will work, but I don't even feel like playing the sound. But basically, I've heard some very eye-opening realization. They're things that I knew, but it's such a tough thing to say. But, the next WW3 doesn't necessarily have to happen with tanks and stuff. It could just be your city's taken over by stuff like this. And then they burn it. And then civil unrest. So, I am watching these things spur up. Ever since the black flag went up, they are popping up all over the place. Really everything else that's going on. Let's go back to. I'm Degen now. I want to look at because I got some DeSci picks. I saw some DeSci picks were ripping. And I want to see if they're coming back down for a breath of fresh air. Because I feel like decentralized science is going to be a hot little niche to position myself into for the next bull run. Where in the heck? Why are you giving me all this stuff? What are you doing? I don't want all of this stuff. I just want this. Let's see. Vector space, that's the one. That's one of them. Vector space, AIMX, Genomes DAO, this one. And what's so cool is when Josh came into the studio, he was also talking about decentralized science along with BJ. BJ is more on kind of the the actual application and the whole world of biochemistry, well beyond me. I don't act like a biochemist at all, but I do believe that the wish for a decentralized, transparent, scientific method is something that's very reasonable to go after. So, keeping that in mind, that is my my focals. That's the glasses that I have over my eyes when I'm looking at these things, because they don't necessarily have to work right out of the gates. It has to be something that's wanted, something that's useful, something that actually has legs. This thing has woken up. Oh my God. This thing has woken up. Okay. And this one is ranging pretty hard, you guys. Like pretty violent upswings and downswings through the last year. It has recently, just now, reached its all-time high over the last few days. All-time high was hit. What do we got? 1 cent. Yeah, that's a mover. That's a mover and a shaker right now. 60% on the week, 180 on the month. Dang, genome. Dang. All right, let's see here. I want to go to another one. This has all of them. Constellation DAG working up. When I'm just don't know what to get, I just get some more DAG, Let's check out Vector Space, though. This is another one that I liked. VXV, $24 million market cap. Circulating is almost at the total supply. So I did like that. Again, this is actually one that's been around for a lot longer than a bunch of decentralized science projects. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing, but if you look, just generally at this floor, the floor that it's been writhing on and its dead carcass as we've been going through the longest bear market in history, is higher than it was originally, and it's had some actual breaths of air, and it looks like it's trying to curve back up to the upside here. Big old middle finger telling the world it is not dead. That's what because I remember watching this thing last market, and this was one of my regrets of not grabbing it, because I was looking at it here in this like dollar range, and I saw it just absolutely no chill, no F's given. This thing ripped here, just so you can go through the pain that I experienced last cycle on this thing. Yeah, so I was watching it here around the 2021 mark, because I was looking for things that might continue to pump into the like we were right at the point where things were getting really juicy for Bitcoin, and it had no chill. So this one in general looks like it's waking up again. It's going to take time for this this narrative, this type of token, this section, this niche to really take hold and be noticed by the larger public. So, when you're looking at those things, you got to think in that regard. Let's see here, going through all the chats. Hey, everyone, if you have Coinbase, go get a free $12 in VET under learning rewards. What? They released VET learning rewards? I remember those. When I first got into crypto, that was so cool. I did a bunch of those, and it ended up turning into like a pretty good amount of money in the bull market for like just literally, doing tests and stuff like that. Let's see who we got in here. We're just cruising, you guys. We're just cruising here. We're just late night cruising, going through all the deep picks. This is sick. I got my buttons. This is stupid sick. I just need some beer. You know what I mean? That's what I really need. Internet Computer woke up for me. So this is one of my ones that I did hammer into right at about $3.60. Let's see how that move is going for me so far. Obviously, I knew it was like in a general uptrend. ICP really hasn't woken up fully, I wouldn't say. Over the month, I mean, absolutely sick. And I missed this so much because I went all in on Chainlink, but I don't regret that. So just know that. You missed a move. Metis Layer 2. Okay, yeah. Well, let me know where to find that. I'll see if I can find it on CoinMarketCap here. Some of those things aren't on CoinMarketCap. Let's get a little bit deeper here, you guys. Let's go to Dex Tools. There's some naughty little tokens out there swimming around on Dex Tools. Let's see what we got here. Plugging this in. So Grok. Let's see what Grok is, bro. Like this is more just absolute. You get the Degen Alpha, you guys. I brought this up. We had a post from Taco in the Discord. I think God, it's like 3 days ago or 4. Like the moment it came out, this thing has exploded. What the heck is going on with Grok? I would not be grabbing this per se right now, but I mean, wow. And this thing, I keep seeing dork all over and maybe it's just my timeline particularly, but I see this thing all over the place. So dork, it's like this meme of Andrew Tate. God, I gotta find it now. I have to find this. You guys have to see this with me. It's a meme about Andrew Tate, and it made me laugh. It was relatable. It had so many different qualities of just a good, wholesome meme that I really liked it right out of the gates. Oh God, here's a good one. Look at this. Look at what they're doing. This is what the internet is up to with this meme. Field of dork, and they just keep going, bro. Like these this community is savage. Like this is just some random post, but it's pretty much I've seen it quite often over the last week. It looks like it's a pretty new token. Came out on, let's see here. It came out on October, so it came out right at about Halloween. Definitely an awesome just entry into the market. I think it's just because the name, and it's relevant. Tate's all over the news. Good volume there. Volume is dwindling though, and it does look like we're waiting to find a little pocket of buy pressure here. You might find that right about that level. Let's see here. So whatever you want to call it, 0.000 0.03825. Basically, if you're looking at this thing, this is the level I'm watching where this wick came down to, and then we stumbled on the way up here. That's the level I'd be trying to get into to, take a chance, take a little risky biscuit move on it. Dex tools, let's see where this thing's at. Again, this is another I think this one's actually been around for quite a long time. I think the real story is like its overall life cycle too. I mean, this thing really, it looks like just most other upward and to the right cryptographs. Like obviously you got the pain, the wobble. That's where we play with this is the game where you see the going up and you're like, don't do it. Wait, patience, control yourself, discipline, or YOLO into a giant green candle, get wrecked. It's you can take it one or two ways. But this thing in general, this goes back quite a bit. This is price action from 2022 July. This is obviously the collapse, but this thing used to be, pretty well up there. Not too much higher than it was right now, though. I mean, honestly, guys, like August 2021, it was, not too. I mean, it has a 9 level, but it just tapped just under 9 right here on May of this year. So this thing's alive, man. This thing is definitely alive. Sometimes I like just perusing Dex tools just to see what the next, hot ticket might be. Can I show you my rooster? Dude, I got like 4 or 5 roosters now. And I got 2 of them that are like really good to protect all the hens that I let stay in the coops. But the other ones, and a bunch of other chickens, gals, I just let them. They have their own like shed hut thing that they found in the forest, and they just come back for water and food. They don't want to be near near the rest of the flock. So, I should just start a prepper channel. I've been doing the buy in and bug outs. I don't think I'm going to do the buy in and bug outs on this channel anymore because they're 2 different worlds, guys. Just take profits and then better your life with them. I better my life with generators, hard iron goods, lots of food for my army of children and my wife, and that way. That's just me. Whatever floats your boat. I don't sit here judging anyone, unless there's a damn good reason to, right? So we got the rest of the markets here. I mean, just looking like they're taking a little bit of breath. You have obviously some big winners, some outliers. Terra Luna, Celestia, Kronos. God dang, Solana. I'm not putting out of the cards to see Solana hit $100 within this year, you guys. I'm not. Like, this thing's got the velocity. It's got the narrative. I mean, it absolutely rocketed down to this. This was such a violent move to the downside that Solana went through, and I am not betting against. Like if I'm looking at this chart, I mean, yeah, there will be some chop right about $80, but I'm not going to be surprised. It's really not that far away, and really, if you think about the grander scheme of things, we're only like we're already halfway to our previous all-time high. This is picking up so much pace so quickly. It's an exciting time. This is the juice in being in crypto, being positioned ahead of these moves. That's what it's all about. So I think, in general, I was able to cover a lot of what I wanted to cover additionally to, but this also, just on the heads up, if you are in Iceland, if I have any Iceland viewers out there, please stay safe. Breaking reports came out of civil defense declaring a state of emergency over 100 earthquakes reported in 24 hours, and the potential of a volcano going off in that region is being reported. So super sketchy. That's another reason, we can stack all this and do so good in the economy or how much money we have, but you can't take it with you when you die, right? And so, I like to better the lives of the people that are around me. I like to, just build. The overall goal here in my mind is to buy as much land as possible from my loved ones. That is the goal. And the means to the end right now, the highest velocity return that I see in the markets at large, something that's going to help me outpace inflation and change my future and my family's future is crypto. And likely in 2030, it's going to transfer over to biotechnology, nanotechnology type stock investments are going to rip in that time frame as well, in my opinion. Now, I know it sounds crazy that I say these things, but guess what? I have a track record of calling a lot of things that just happened here over the last 3 years in 2014 to the T. Then I called Ukraine. And then I'm still calling Taiwan now. I mean, I've been saying that for a year, but it's a slow build up. And, there's the pieces are on the table. That's a big, big situation. That's a slow moving situation as well. So let's see what else we got here. We'll just scroll through, punch this over. Oh man, this is some financial alpha for you if you're a landlord out there. Take advantage of the current times. What do they say? Modern times require modern solutions, right? Just some landlord ideas there. Now, it looks like the media at large is taking out my man, A Jones. They're going after him. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I met him. Absolutely awesome dude. Absolutely awesome dude. Really enjoyed spending the day with him and the team down there in Texas. And it's been disgusting seeing what, the corporate overlords and the governmental overlords that run things from the shadows have done to him. And they've, it's cost him around $10 million to fight this. They've spent $36 million to go after him, in the course of these last lawsuits. So absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. It's the stuff that just makes you go nuts. If you don't have anything positive to focus on, you can align and help spread the message of those that need to be lifted out of those dark places and that censorship. But then we can also show the light on how we can take control of our financial future to fight back in the best way possible. Because, that's a position of strength right there. If you're not desperate, you're not clawing for breadlines if the economy goes out and you have a garden and a bunch of chickens and a bunch of food and you have tripwires, you have things that you can do. You can take care of your own sovereignty. This guy, I love Arcane Bear. I don't love Crypto Capo. This is like a leak from his Telegram. This is insane. Much more confirmations are needed, but there's a good chance that the local top is in. You can call me crazy, perma-bear, stubborn, or whatever. But in my opinion, the bearish scenario is still likely. See, so where I get aggravated is crypto bros don't know what the fuck's going on in macro finance often. And very, very few crypto bros know about the immense amount of strain that our banking system is under, as is from the current interest rate hikes, the situation at large with Jay Powell, which, he seems kind of like a G. He's just, the beatings will continue until morale improves, is the situation we're in the macroeconomy. And these hedge funds, these large institutions, they already hold hundreds of billions of dollars apiece in unrealized and realized losses. Like, was it? I think it was Bank of America in and of itself has 130 bill. So there's a lot on the table to realize as a loss for these firms. I don't see a large incentive or reason to smash the market down and create more unsurety for it right before you slam $1 trillion+ within a year into BlackRock and Vanguard ETFs. I don't see that as a logical process for institutions at large. And I mean, I hear you, Crimson. I hear that. I hear it. And they already have enough pain to realize. And there's a large incentive to create a basket of investments that can outpace and help lessen those losses. And it's clear that Bitcoin is outperforming the rest of the markets. Even the best in the stock market are not even close to what Bitcoin's done. So, I understand that fear. I just have the world cares so little about black swans at this point, in my opinion. Like, it's been so normalized over the past few years. It'll take a big one. It'll take a big move in whatever country. I don't know which country would get hit. I mean, this or if a lot of them would get hit. You know what I mean? But like, the next step in black swan is like where you're gonna want to have a prepper friend. That's they're at breaking points right now, and I also have a lot of conviction in my thought process that these rate quantitative tightening, this rate hike, or this pausing of rates at a higher level than the markets can sustain, is going to break in June 2024. We have Japan already hard-sidedly admitting that. We have a lot of different countries, but primarily Federal Reserve governors that are citing June as the time where it's going to be looked at to actually start, cutting rates. And, you can't imagine that, like, because just for context, I'm not expecting them to cut 25% base points in June. I'm expecting a 10% base point cut, because the increase that we just went through was the fastest it's ever been in the history of the country. I don't think that they're going to be going down as fast. That's just my opinion. I know that many disagree with me. I'm just telling you my opinion and my thought process as I'm building my portfolio. So yeah, there you go, Crimson. So you got it. And like, if that does happen, like, I still have some Tether. I have like 10% of my overall crypto bag is still sitting in Tether, just in case that does happen. That is where, the cybersecurity thing. I put up a post where, if that situation were to go down, I mean, then cybersecurity systems and an actual rehashing of those data infrastructures would be a guarantee. It's not a potential or strong potential. It's a guarantee. So, and I already see that happening with these Lazarus hackers and all the things that have happened over the past decade, 2 decades. I used to work in the energy industry, and they were very, very serious about it because there were many attempts, and there's been a lot of harvesting of access points to our grid and overall electrical infrastructure over the past 10 years. It's undeniable. So, that's an interesting thought, man. Like, I understand the potential of it, but, I'm ready if it happens. I'm just like, I've only learned, in my experience, I succeeded by being stubborn and like just moving my path, man. And I've met a lot of people that look at me because I kind of look young. I guess I'm almost 40, but many people kind of discount my ability to time out Fed rates until I make $250,000 off of playing with high low levels, and then it's like, oh, but even then, they want to look at people like Warren Buffett or something to feel more comfortable with it. So no, and 10%, no, I'm not a huge whale. I'm not holding 10% of my bag is not $1 million. I'm not moving the markets. Give it for reference, the things that I bought with crypto, vehicles, a chunk for down payment on a home, and outbuilding. That's the last thing I had to take a good amount of profits. And it was pretty scary when I did it, but I had to get the outbuilding because we're expanding our sewing shop. My wife does sustainable fashion, or, she remakes things, and she's a fashion designer. So she does it in a sustainable fashion. Get it? Trash fashion, right? So I had to get that in process, because if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. I'm telling you for me, that's my current situation, and I wouldn't have it anywhere the other way, because she keeps me on my toes, man. And she's also into crypto. Like, she doesn't even mind that I'm up just like and thank you for the kitchen. Yes, crypto. Yes, right here. Like you can. This was gutted. But behind me, I built this. I built that. And I used the money because I got an estimate and I could have paid a general contractor. They wanted $70,000. I was like, I can do this for 35 myself. I can do this for 35 myself. And that gave me all the other bandwidth. Those are other kind of mindset shifts that you can have, right? Where it's like, because even like, I just needed to plug in I had plumbers. I paid them a few grand to plug in some, natural gas lines and stuff. And then I had one little thread that I need to put on my heater. $1,200 for one little thread. I was like, just give me some goo. I'll do it right here. I did it free. It's incredible how many slight scams there are in society that just absolutely wreck people. Like, YouTube is such a powerful tool for so much information, and you can use that mindset to expand upon it. Like if you're in a tight spot financially and all your vehicles break, it's extra useful to either know how to fix it, know how to find it on YouTube, or get some people together. Just have at it. You'd be surprised at what you're capable of. If you're out there and you have never done those things, the information's free. It's flowing across the internet. Go grab it. It's that's another thing in prepping. It's like we can stack and stack and stack all these goods, but at one point you just turn into a warehouse and a whole cruise loadout. If you're so bogged down in weight that you can't move quickly and efficiently in a time of those types of situations, but knowledge and knowing how to turn a piece of rebar into a knife by building your own forge out of cinder blocks and an air pusher, those are weightless items that you can literally go everywhere with, and you don't have to put in a backpack or weigh it down or keep track of. Just stay fresh. You know what I mean? And I love that Nick was talking about lion's mane mushroom. I love lion's mane mushroom. I'm on it all the time. It really helped with it. Yes, that stuff with ICBC was wild. Absolutely, Big Daddy. Interesting timing indeed. A failed U.S. Treasury auction, and then immediately after, a cyber attack reported on the world's largest bank that was trying to transact in the world's largest market. Incredible. Crimson. I always share that meme, where's my meme? I'm going to find my meme. This is the meme of all memes right here. My chaos. This is my Twitter. Make sure if you don't already, follow me, guys. I know most of you do. I've been terrible about shilling myself. I'm at Druth Crypto. Let's go here. I have the meme to rule them all. I do post pictures of Pepe peeing often. Here it is. This is it. Ladies, it's time to start thinking about if the guy you're dating has post-apocalyptic warlord potential. It's real talk. It's not a probability, but it is a possibility. And, but also in that mindset, then you learn how to fix things, right? Then you learn a slight understanding of electrical, a slight understanding of mechanical, a slight understanding of carpentry. That helps so much financially if you can employ those things. And I just absolutely, hope that anyone that's hearing this message that doesn't, that has little portions of their life that's costing them just an arm and a leg, taking their ability to purchase things or DCA away. There's ways around it. The information's there. You can network. So let's see here. Big questions that need answering. Which questions? Let's see. I have 10,000. What should I do if I don't have any Bitcoin right now? I don't have any Bitcoin right now. I used to I was insulated in Bitcoin to just basically protect against getting crushed in the altcoin market over the last bear market, because this, again, was the longest bear market in our history in crypto. I don't have any Bitcoin right now, guys. I am literally a Chainlink maxi. So here's where it was. So I want to pull this up just to kind of show the time frame here. So Bitcoin obviously was the beginning of my path. I got in Ethereum and Bitcoin and XRP, just absolutely ham bone. I'll move my face out of the way here. Ham bone in COVID, right? And I had bought like tiny amounts like in 2019 and watched it from 2016 on. but I just didn't have the capital at the time. I was an up and coming young gun, but I held Bitcoin. It did take profits on the front end of this pump right here, begrudgingly. Felt like a mistake, wasn't a mistake. But then what I had left was a good amount of Bitcoin and a good amount of Ethereum. Because again, just moving with conviction and absolute violence of action, as they say, paid off big. And so what I did was, I held the Bitcoin. Obviously, I had the pain going down here. I consolidated what altcoins I did have once I realized this chop in this, kind of time frame of the 4-year cycle is playing out as we, at this point, in this point in the market where I'm pointing to right there, this little moment right here, the whole market was like, oh, the 4-year cycle is actually a real thing. So just for reference on that. So I was in Bitcoin this whole time. I waited all the way up until this last dip. So I tethered up and got out of my Bitcoin and Ethereum positions right here, and went all into Chainlink. Now, the question of, if you have 10K, what are you going right now? 10K gets you more than a quarter of a Bitcoin. It's pretty awesome. If you think about, I do recommend Bitcoin to kind of begin the journey. I'm at the point now, a few cycles in, where I'm looking to be a lot more aggressive, and I have a little bit more elbow room that I've created in my life because of it. So it's like I'm okay taking that higher risk move of going after Chainlink, and ICP, and I still hold XRP, Stellar XLM, Constellation DAG. I have Pi, but what the hell is Pi doing? I haven't seen anything from Pi in a long time. But they are moving KYCs through. If Pi's a real thing, I'm buying an island. No, I'm just kidding. I'd probably if Pi's a real thing, I could get a really nice armored vehicle though. I'm watching Pi, cautiously optimistic on Pi. Where is this thing? I'm gonna see if I can find Pi. This is fun. No time constraints here. This is great. I'm just going. You guys in the chat, you guys are absolute savages. We just keep going too. People just keep pulling in. Here we go. At least did something. Jeez, unbelievable. Look at how tight this range is. And it's been within. This is since the middle of October, basically. It's just been like zigzagging. It looks like almost like a stable coin right around $35. Really hasn't done much. But if it's anywhere around $36 when the mainnet goes live, that's gonna be thick. But just an interesting project. Probably gonna die in the shadows because it's like proof of work, or it's like mining with your cell phone. But they do have kind of interesting marketing that comes, like big marketing deals. There's just incentive to advertise with Pi to all the people that are kind of mining it. So yeah, Chris Ing, yeah, you're probably. Solana turning off was really weird to watch. Like 11 times or something. But that was kind of my point in talking about when these systems start really getting overloaded with usage. It's kind of at large what we saw with Ethereum, and that whole gas fees basically locking people out of even escaping out of Ethereum low cap gems, because they only had like a little bit of money in the coin, and then it cost them like 3 times more than what they had to move it anywhere. So I remember at the peak of the bull market, there was a lot of problems with that, and we'd have to wait for Ethereum gas to calm down in the middle of the night, right between when Americans and Asian markets were sleeping. Hard to find, right? But yeah, XYO. Oh my God, I have XYO. I forgot. I had been doing that hard last cycle. Vchain looks very viable. Let's check it out. I remember I looked at Vchain yesterday. Let's go here. So again, the lines, as I said, shot, no harm if you do use them, all that stuff. I don't use them. So here you go. I mean, I use them sometimes. Maybe I'll bring up my trading view, but it just overloads me. So here's the yearly on Vchain, and it's digging out of its trench. It's popped back into the green side of the overall year outlook. But let's look at the past. Yeah, dude, this thing's waking up. This thing's waking up. This is waking up. Let's go in here. This is fun. This is the time. It's like you see these sleeping monsters just waking up slowly, and then all of a sudden they rise like a dragon, just burning down everything in their path. That's what I remember from the last market. Oh my God, I love charts like this. Oh yes. I don't have any Vchain. I'm gonna buy some though. So you're talking to myself about it. Look at the overall though. It's only up by 49% on the overall. Timing is everything, right? But this thing went up to 23 cents at the peak, right? But this is interesting. May of 2021. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick here. I'm always interested in what performs early. Oh my God, unbelievable. This is the worst day of my life. Let's see here. God, market cap is 1.4 trillion right now, you guys. That greed's still looking at us. I'm gonna look at Vchain and see where I expect it to get slapped back down to in momentary here. But let's look. The overall, I want to see and just refresh. Yeah, May was right in this general time frame, so that's good. Okay. So it pumped right as it pumped in tandem with Bitcoin. So it's not like an early canary in the coal mine type feeling that I get out of it, but it's a catch you by the boo-boo at the peak of the next bull with these nasty, nasty price action moves. That's what happens with these tried and true, longer standing crypto projects, man. They have a lot of information out there on the internet already about them. They have a long track record. So you got to watch out for things like this. Like a lot of people are like, yeah, if the network activity is dead and like literally no one's talking about it and you can't find the CEO and the Discord's been shut down, it's probably a dead project. Vchain is not a dead project. So yeah, I'm looking at this graph. I'm feeling great about this graph. I'm feeling great. I know it's got the diminish. Definitely has the diminish. The overall supply, we'll have to see the supply. I wonder if it's on token unlocks. Let's see here. Not found. I'll have to dig up the supply after hours here. See if I can find it. Because oftentimes the supply, schedule, the release schedule for tokens can be found in various spots. If they're not found on token unlocks, there's a bunch of different websites I can use. But Vchain's just overall price action, you guys, I don't feel bad about it. And I know Catch 'em All was pretty hot on them too. I know they had the whole UFC thing. That's great. I mean, the thing that I think about with Vchain that makes me not hate it and like be open to the idea that it's gonna perform still, even though it's been around for a while, is that it has a focused use case in logistics and supply chains, and that's a thing to pay attention to for companies and just the system in general. That's a lot of data, and it's nice to have organizational systems that can be implemented that can improve that process. Now, if they actually pull it off, that's a whole nother gamut. Like, we're talking about the speculation of the markets on the potentials of these technologies being implemented. All bets are off, and there is no telling how high the prices actually do end up going once they do get adopted. But that's why I moved into Chainlink, is because I saw hard-sidedly that the Australia and New Zealand central banks were working with SWIFT for years with CCIP and Chainlink. So it's like, when you see things like that, then along with the charts, the chart movements, you can kind of put the confluence of information together to make, your decision. UFC has woke sponsors. God, you just can't have a damn thing. Do they really? Someone. It's like I grab a beer at the store and then I drink it, and everyone like reminds me on the internet that their CEO is like walking around the office with a butt plug or something. Like, this world has gone absolutely insane. You just can't have a thing. We need to find as many wholesome brands as we can and hug them like our lives depend on it. My God. But, with that being said, you guys, it's getting late. I'm going to go out and chill out. Bud Light. Yeah. Well, yeah, Bud Light was, I think that was purposeful. I feel like Bud Light purposely just wanted to go up in flames or something. That was really awkward. Here we are. We're waking back up. I am watching for a red Sunday. I am watching for a red Sunday. I am not buying another bag until I see a red Sunday or a good red candle. But the projects, I think Vchain is definitely on. I'm going to have to mark Vchain on my Git list here because that one, it's already on there. Okay. So that's what I do. Set my targets, stay focused, be the hunter, light breathing, controlled breathing, pull through, right? That's what we do. But you guys in the chat are absolutely amazing for joining me tonight. And make sure to share the stream, smash the like if you love your freedom. I'm going to just do this every night. I'm up every night researching into the night anyways. I may as well. I'm a night owl. Let's hang out at night. Because, why not? We're in the best time to change our lives and literally make generational wealth is right between here in the next 6 months are going to be the absolute juiciest entry points. So we need to make sure, I'm going to make sure I do everything I can to get to as many people as I can before the halving happens and before the market turns into an absolute show, which I know it's going to. So you guys are awesome. I absolutely appreciate every single one of you. Let's see what we got. I got C90 FTW, JB, Crimson Caravan. Dude, I'm excited. What I saw in the Discord, I'm hyped about, man. You are awesome. Thumbnail Investor. Appreciate you guys. Shake, maybe a Band-Aid. Kins Turbo, what up? Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, Beardo DG, you guys are killer. I'm going to shut her down now. Go hang out with the boy. Maybe I shouldn't. It's a little late. But until next time, I'll be going live on Saturday at, let's see here. How long have I been going live for? I don't even know how long I've been on. I'll set it for 9 o'clock again. Why not? Let's do it. Well, appreciate you guys, and I will see you on